Hey guys, I hope you are well. Yeah, welcome to another technical driving trip. My first driving trip after my months in the desert, and my last before I go overseas for a couple of weeks. I also just had my new Icon Stage 4 suspension kit installed in the Landcruiser, so this is pretty much the testing trip for that suspension. That means Tiny is at home and the cruiser gets to do a bit of rock crawling. In attendance on the trip we have Kurt in his GU Patrol 4.2, Sebastien in his GU Patrol Petrol, then we have Adrian in his Hilux and myself in the cruiser. You can see Sebastien is back from overseas and back driving. And if you have a close look at his car, you see that it has quite a few more love marks from a recent Mount Airlie trip.
Close up shot.
I know, but I should have wear
The
my best
intensity. Deep breath, Sebastian. Okay.
Right.
Come down slowly. Coming down very slow. Gentle. Your back's about to come down. Your back's about to come down.
Adrian ditched his other Hilux, which constantly had problems with his e-lockers, and now has a different Hilux with front and rear ARB air locker, which so far hasn't given him any troubles. Please keep in mind the cruiser is my touring vehicle. If I would use it more for rock crawling, I definitely would change my diff gearing to 4.88. And I have already ordered a heavy duty torque converter with an increased stall speed.
Right, that's going to go up now. Keep going up. Straighten up this way a bit, but just like that, don't walk back. Just, mate. Nice. That way, so you avoid the hole.
Now, mate, straight up there.
obvious bloody
Let's
reason.
hope he's not bending something again,
Not to break anything.
because his car is pretty damaged now.
I blame Kurt. I try and follow you.
I was quite impressed how well Adrian's new leaf-sprung Hilux did on that technical track. There were only very few situations where he needed a second try.
How near was disaster that? How near was disaster?
Yeah, I know, very, yeah, that's right.
Fuck it. It's made it. Oh, I've got to go and help him.
This section here can be fairly interesting, because if you get it wrong you can end up with some pretty nasty side angles. If you drop a front wheel into the right, that wouldn't be a very good idea, and as mentioned could get you on some pretty nasty side angles. A lot of broken glass on the floor indicated that someone had a little rest on his side there.
Don't drive straight for a moment, head to R. Don't do... No. Why not? I've got to drive forward more, not to turn yet.
He's stuck on the rear diff.
I got a little hung up on my diff here, and the boys need to pack a couple of rocks. Stuff that up, the easy line.
It's a hard line, hard.
Adrian also gave the side angle line a go and really started to lift up the front wheel there a bit, so we got a little bit concerned and got him to reverse back and take a slightly different line. I'm going to come with this one down first. That's better. Nah. Same line as you had, 20 centimeters further to the left, and bump that rear gently. Gentle. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about a bit earlier.
Stop.
When Adrian started gently to drive, the front passenger side started lifting up, and the driver's rear was still to go lower in that hole, so we decided it would be better to put a winch extension strap around his bull bar and just put a little bit downward pressure on. On Toolbox Hill, Curdy tried his luck on the left-hand line. However, it had rained the day before and the sandy ground was still fairly moist, so there was very little traction to be found with the sand on the rocks. Are you still?
Go back or what?
I'll try it, but I would have been... This step can also get quite nasty, and you slip to the right, don't get off the throttle. Vehicles have rolled there before. After a couple of unsuccessful tries, we decided we rather take the middle line. Okay. But load her up and you got to drive it, you can't crawl it. The last few times I drove the left-hand line, so I was actually keen driving the middle again, as I hadn't done that for probably 2 years, I reckon. Beautiful. Nah. We all made it to the lookout, had lunch and turned around to head back down. It's an understatement to say that I was very happy with the Icon Stage 4 suspension setup. It performed absolutely brilliant, far better than I expected, and I couldn't do nothing to upset it. So I'm really looking forward now to my next longer trip and see how it performs over corrugation. This was also my first technical driving trip on the Nitros. While I had the Nitro Tri-Grappler on my 1 month desert trip, there wasn't really any rock crawling involved or technical driving involved. So yeah, I'm also quite happy with the tires. They performed very well and I can't really fault them. So overall I have to say I'm super happy with the cruiser build. There are still a few little things missing. I'm upgrading my axle and hubs to 300M axles and splined hubs. I still have a Safari Amax chip at home. I will install a heavy duty torque converter, but that's really it. Then that cruiser build is finished and I will do a full walkthrough video, which has been requested quite a few times. Sebastien is having intensive conversations with himself there. to go up there. At the last obstacle to get back out at Gisam South, Cody tried the hard left line. Nice! That had been dug out a fair bit more since we've been last year. And besides several tries, he pretty much got stuck on one point there, and the winch had to come out for the last little section. Yeah, nah.